My name is Agnes McKeen, and in October 2015, my 16-year-old son took his own life.
He had the warning signs, he had the risk factors, but sometimes everything looks beautiful from the outside, and he just couldn't hold on anymore.
Harrison was a beautiful soul. His laughter could light up a room, and he was a gentle soul. He felt things deeply. He cared about people deeply.
He was a pleaser. He wanted to please everybody around him and see people smile. He was such a good kid. He really was a good kid.
Every year, 45,000 Americans take their own lives. Every year, 72,000 Americans die of opiate addiction. We live in an era of social isolation, social fragmentation, division, and hatred. And we're all trying to figure out what we can do to weave this society back together.
The last words I spoke to my son, I stood up out of the car window and hollered at him, "Harrison!" And he immediately turned around, and he was with two friends, and I just said, "I love you." And he said, "I love you too, Ma." And then I just went on my way. Yeah. I found out Harrison was gone when there was cops at the door, and the officer said to me, "Are you Agnes McKeen?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Harrison Mahan is deceased." And I don't know what he said after that. I hit the floor. I died. At that moment, the person that I was died with my son. A scared and weak woman who was not willing to fight or didn't know how to fight or didn't believe in herself enough to speak her truth. That died in me that day. I don't remember the first 4 months. I woke back up after losing Harrison, December 28th, 2015. And I was sitting on my front porch talking to Harrison in the morning like I used to do all the time, and like I still do. And I said to him, "Oh, gosh darn it, Harrison, didn't you know how much I loved you?" And I felt him move through me. I felt him. I could feel the warmth, like the warmth you get when you wrap your hands around a cup of coffee through my whole body. And I could hear him say, "Of course I know, Ma." And I've just felt so warm, and I felt him. It breaks my heart to think there's one person out there feeling this way. One more child out there feeling so alone and hopeless, and not knowing that there are people out there that really care and that can help. Just Talk started when I had attended an Out of the Darkness walk. It helped me, and it was healing. And on the drive home, my mom and my sister and I decided that this was something we could do, that this is something we wanted to do. And we needed to do something like this in town, and so we did. We got together, and I devised a letter and started going out in the community and talking to community partners about participating in a suicide prevention event. Right away, the very first place I walked into, I was hugging somebody and sharing stories by the time I walked out.
The future we imagine is not going to be built by perfect people. It's going to be built by all of us, with our messy lives, our crooked hearts, and our imperfect hands. Weave, the Social Fabric Project, exists to spread the news about the people who are building community. It exists to name their values. It exists to bring them together. There is a movement all around us that doesn't yet know it's a movement. There are weavers all around us who live for deep relationship and seek to replace isolation with connection. All I ask today is that you think intentionally about something extra you could do, and that you say, I choose to weave the social fabric and not rip it. I choose to be a weaver.
Love has to go somewhere. Then shouldn't it be everywhere? I don't know. I don't know. Love is for all. And the greatest of these is love. And the greatest of these is love.